welcome to this stretchy bedtime flow. So we're just going to start off settling into our breath, a really useful breath to help send those signals to the brain that it's time to relax is when we lengthen the exhale. So we're just going to take a comfortable seat, feel the sit bones rooted down to the ground. You can do this in a chair if this isn't comfortable. Just relax the shoulders back, closing down the eyes if it feels safe for you to do so. And I'm going to breathe in and out through the nose. I'm going to breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 8. I know that might sound like a really long exhalation, but you can speed up your counting. So as you're ready to, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just keep that going for a few rounds. With every exhale, just imagine all of the day's tension and stress just melting away. One more round of breath. Lovely. Gently open the eyes if you had them closed. As much as you can throughout this practice, just see if you can keep up with that breath practice. So we're lengthening the exhale. Don't worry too much about counting. Just focus on a longer exhale. So from your comfortable seat, we're just going to bring the hands down onto the ground either side of us and drop in the right ear towards the right shoulder. Feeling a stretch into the left side of the neck. Just be very mindful though that you're not kind of scrunching that right shoulder up towards the ear. Just keep the shoulders relaxed and down. If you want to go a little bit further with this, you can take that right hand and just gently rest it onto the head. So we're not using the hand to force a deeper stretch. We're just using the gentle weight of the hand to take it a little bit further. And then from here, just turn the head as if you're looking towards your right knee. You might feel the stretch has moved more into the back of the neck as well now. Focusing on your breath. Gently let go, release back to center, and we'll take that to the other side. So gently dropping that left ear towards the left shoulder. Shoulders stay still. Bringing that left hand to gently rest on the head if that felt good. And then turning the head to look at that left knee. Just moving that stretch around the side and the back of the neck. And gently release, come back to a neutral position. So we're going to make our way onto hands and knees now. Just take your time getting there. So coming to all fours, bringing the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. And just taking the knees about hips distance apart. So we've got this nice space across the back of the pelvis. We'll just take a few rounds of cat and cow. As you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift the tailbone, allow the belly to drop, drawing the chest forward. So imagine you're pulling the chest in between the arms and then squeezing the shoulder blades behind you. As you exhale, curl that tailbone down, start to arch up like an angry cat. Allow the head to gently drop. Maybe swaying out the head a little here. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, coming into cow. Chest pulls forwards. Feel that stretch all along the front side of the body. Exhale, rounding up. Really press the ground away. And do 2 more at your own pace with your own breath. Remember that longer exhale. And bringing the spine back to a neutral position. So from here, we're just going to walk the hands forwards. We're coming into a puppy pose stretch. So we want to try and keep, as best as we can, the hips stacked over the knees. We're just walking the hands forward and then melting the head and the heart towards the ground. So keeping that bum sticking up in the air. If your head doesn't meet the ground, you could always place a block or something underneath to support it, or a cushion. And we're just resting here. It might feel nice to bend the elbows, bringing the forearms onto the ground. Just feeling a gentle stretch into the shoulder area. And again, just focusing on that longer exhale. And then slowly starting to walk the hands back in, coming up through all fours. And then we're just going to sit back onto our toes. So tucking the toes under and bringing your hips back to sit on your feet. Make sure that all 10 toes are tucked. So you might need to use your hands to get those little toes tucked under. If this is too intense, you can always just lift your seat a little higher, or maybe you bring the hands to the ground to reduce the intensity. We won't be here for too long though, so just see if you can stick with it. It's a really nice stretch for the fascia of the feet and the toes that we tend to neglect. And whilst we're here, we're just going to circle the wrists. So you could just circle them here. Maybe you interlace the hands and circle them. Maybe you give them a little shake out. Just anything that feels good really here. Just tending to all the places that we tend to neglect throughout the day. Giving our whole body a little bit of a stretch out. Lovely. And then coming back to all fours, you can untuck the toes, and maybe it'll feel good just to give them a gentle tap on top of the feet. It can be quite intense, that one. And then we'll bring the big toes to touch and then widen the knees. Sit your hips back towards your heels. We're just going to walk the arms forwards, and we're going to take a little thread the needle pose here. So you're going to take that right arm, thread it all the way underneath the left, really reaching the fingertips away, and then maybe the head comes to the ground or a cushion. And then reach that left hand forwards. Taking a few breaths here. And gently unravel. We'll just change to the other side. So exactly the same thing, threading the left arm under the right this time. And gently unravel. We're going to come back up to all fours. Just bringing the knees back underneath the hips now. So I'd like you to step your right foot forwards towards the top of the mat in between the hands. So we're in a low lunge. From here, we're just going to inhale to lift the chest. Maybe you can drop the hips further forwards and down. On the exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg and shift the hips back. Just gently folding over the leg. And just moving in between these two postures. Really use that breath. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, nice long exhale. Inhale to come forwards. Really stretching out through the back of the right leg and also stretching out through the hip flexor in this left side. We'll do one more. Inhale to come forwards and then stepping that leg back. We'll just repeat that on the other side. As you're ready, stepping that left foot in between the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, shift the hips back, straightening that leg. Remember your breath. Inhale to come forwards. Exhale as you move back. And next time you come forwards, we're just going to step that foot back. You can sit back towards your heels and just swing the legs around to one side and bring the legs out in front. We're just going to lower onto our backs now. Use your hands to bring yourself down to the ground. We'll bring the right knee in towards the chest, just wrapping the hands around the shin, sending that left leg out long. Just give it a gentle squeeze in. And then just taking some circles with the ankle here. Just releasing any tension in that area. Don't worry if it feels a little bit crunchy and it's making a few little noises. Perfectly normal. And then we'll place the left hand onto that knee. Just take your right arm out towards the side of you for a little bit of support. And we're just going to gently guide that right leg across the body towards the left side. Keeping both shoulders on the ground. Taking a few nice deep breaths. Really nice, gentle spinal twist. And coming back onto your back. You're going to bend into that left leg now and bring the right ankle just above the knee so it's resting on the thigh for this figure 4 stretch. If that is intense enough already, you can stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, then you can draw the legs in towards your body, interlace the hands around the back of the left thigh. Feel it really into the right outer hip and glutes. If you've got your hands interlaced behind the leg, just try and make sure that you're keeping the upper body as relaxed as you can. And gently release everything down. We're just going to change sides now. That left knee is going to hug in towards the chest, straightening out the right leg. Give that knee a little bit of a squeeze right up into the armpit. And then the right hand comes to that left knee, left arm goes out, just to support you as you gently guide the leg across your body towards the right side. Keeping both shoulder blades on the ground. Just make sure that your breathing isn't restricted in this twist. If it is, just back out a little bit. And coming back to center. Bend into the right knee now. We're going to bring that left ankle just above the knee. And again, either stay in here if that's already intense enough for you. You could draw the legs in towards the body and interlace the hands behind that right thigh. This stretch is really one of my absolute favourites for releasing tension in the hips. It's also quite accessible for most people. And gently release the feet to the ground, unravel the legs. Send both legs out long now. Take up a little bit of space, so widen the legs, let the feet naturally fall out. Arms come down by the sides, just take the arms away from the body, almost like a star shape. Just reconnect to your breath. Inhale through the nose, longer exhale through the nose. If you have the time, I will encourage you to stay here for a few minutes. If this is all the time that you have, you can bend into the knees and just gently roll to one side. Pause in for a couple of breaths. And then use your hands to press yourself back up to a comfortable seat.